This video is all about writing a structured introduction for a persuasive essay. The purpose of an introduction is to tell us what you're going to tell us, which is part of the structure of our overall essay. To write your introduction, it's going to be really helpful to have your plan, and it's also a good idea to have done your paragraphs beforehand. There are three parts to the structure of an introduction. We start with an opening statement relevant to your topic. We then give an explanation of the specific topic and the focus of the essay, and we finish by previewing what each paragraph will be about. We'll go through all three sections and give you some examples. The first thing we want to do is create an opening statement that's relevant to the topic. For the purpose of this video, I'm using the topic that cats should be banned. So I need to make a general statement about cats. I'll give you a really simple one. Cats are a big deal. Now, this is pretty vague and pretty generalised, but it is an opening statement and it is relevant to cats. Here's another example of the same thing. Cats are a common household pet across the world. It's a little bit more specific and perhaps a little bit more directed to the kind of discussion I'm going to have in my essay. Using this same system, you can go even fancier. Here's the same thing in a third example. Cats are one of the most predominant and controversial introduced species within the Australian environment. What you can see across my three examples is that even though the language changes, the theory in terms of starting with an opening statement that's relevant to the issue has been the same across the three. If you can't come up with anything that sounds really fancy, don't panic. Use whatever your topic is a big deal as you go to. You can always fix it up later. The second part of your introduction is where you explain exactly where this essay is going to go. This is where you're really looking to tell us what your overall topic is. Previously you were pretty general about cats, but in this case I really want to make the point that cats should be banned because that's what the whole essay is going to be about. In my first example, I've made it really clear. They cause lots of problems, so need to be banned in Australia. There shouldn't be too much confusion having read this sentence and the previous sentence about what my essay is going to be about. Here's another example of the same thing, but with some slightly fancier language. Despite their popularity, the negative impact that household cats can have on a local area suggests that they should be banned in Australia. Similar to before, you can fancy up your language as much as you want, but at the end of the day, the structure is the same. The third stage of an introduction is really important. This is where we tell the reader what every paragraph is going to be about. The key to a good essay is that you're never unclear about what's coming next. It's all about being predictable and consistent. Using my essay plan, I've written down here what my three topics are: environmental impact, human impact, and accountability. My goal is to create one sentence that mentions each of these elements in order. Here's my first example. In this essay, we will explore how cats have a negative environmental impact, human impact, and a lack of accountability for cat owners. If you look just on top, my paragraph topics, I've basically just listed them: 1, 2, and 3. And that's a perfectly clear and structural approach to finishing off your conclusion. Here's my slightly fancier version. Due to the large number of cats within local areas, there are significant environmental concerns as well as daily inconveniences for local residents that cannot be policed with effective accountability measures. You notice in this case I haven't used the language exactly. I didn't say human impact, I said daily inconveniences for local residents. So I've mixed up my language a little bit, but I've still captured the core of what my essay is going to be about, and there'll be no doubt when you get to the beginning of each paragraph which part of this statement I'm talking about. When you put those three things together, this is what you get. Cats are a big deal. They cause lots of problems, so need to be banned in Australia. In this essay, we'll talk about how cats have a negative environmental impact, human impact, and the lack of accountability for cat owners. This is purely putting together the three parts I showed you before, and if I use three different colours, you can see where each of the three sentences sit. Example 2 is just a combination of all the fancier examples I gave during this video. Even though there's more words on the page, you can see when I use the colours there's still three distinct sections. And that's a really important thing to take away in writing an introduction. While some people might put a little bit more detail or sound a bit fancier in their language, at the end of the day we all use the same structure, and it's about being clear and effective. Using this video you should now be able to create your own introduction.